People are always asking me, Phil, what's the strongest build in Elden Ring? But it's so obvious. There is literally a stat you can use to increase your build strength. And if you only invest in the strength stat, surely you will have the strongest build. Today, we're going to Unga, we're going to Bunga, and we're not wasting any runes on anything silly, like Vigor. To watch these runs live, follow me on Twitch. We find new ways to play Elden Ring all the time. Join the Patreon to support the channel, it's where I get to keep most of the money you give me, and subscribe! Like 70% of you aren't, and I know this is annoying. It's a YouTube cliche, but it works. If we get to a 50-50 balance, I'll stop. So subscribe to make me stop. Now, let's go get some gains. As with all of our monostat runs, we're kicking off as a wretch. It starts with the Caveman Club, and we look like Fred Glintstone, and a bit like Phil Swift. To be fair, we're gonna be doing
a lot of damage.
Yabba dabba do into Limgrave, grab a crafting kit, and get a horse from Wilma and a wet knife. Ew, why is this knife wet? Save Barney from a hole, grab the Physic Flask at the Third Church of America. The first tier you get with it heals you 50% of our health. We will not be able to heal late game because we're just gonna die, so let's just get the stamina and charged attack tiers instead, much better. Now imagine getting strong in Fortnite. Then we scoop up the Dectus Medallion and get out of town. For the other half, we yabba dabba do into the Dragon Barrow. Immediately after that, Wilma wants to go back to her place. She's already got a bunch of people there, and hey, if it makes the Flintstones happy, I'm happy for them. Speaking of swinging, we'll swing over to the Merchant and grab some spiked cestus for a bleed weapon. The Morning Star in the Weeping Peninsula also has bleed, but I usually don't go to the Weeping Peninsula early, so this is why I punch the big dinosaur's toes. After we grab our pickle and finish on the toes, we can level strength up pretty high right away. Then into Fort Pharoth for the other half of the Dectus Medallion and Radahn Sword Seal. That's +5 to Vigor, Endurance, Dexterity, and some fourth stat. Can't remember which one. With these thunderous arms, we're ready to wield the heaviest weapon in the game. We just have to go get it. That means skipping over Stormveil, dipping through Lernia, failing to try the speedrun jump. I'm gonna get more consistent with it, okay? It takes practice. Don't wake Daddy with Smaragd and steal the key from under his tail, then warp twice to get to the Bellum Grace. It's just down the road from the Dectus Lift, which will send us to Altus, a mid area in terms of level expectation. Design-wise, it's peak, but mid-game damage can already one-shot us like the Ballista. Normally, I just don't get hit by that, so now we just have to avoid an ulcerated tree spirit.
We're dead.
Okay, that's not as easy as I thought. Next time, we sneak in and get the Giant Crusher. It's made to crush giants. That's nuts. To crush nuts even faster, let's level up that hammer. We're already pretty close to the sealed tunnel, which is where we'll scoop up the Smithing Stone Bell Bearing 2. But wait, we don't have the Smithing Stone Bell Bearing 1? More rocks in the Raya Lucaria quarry. It's just like Fred Glintstone in the Hanna-Barbera verse. We smash everyone on the way down. It's the safest way to get the stones. The Crystallion is kind of a joke. It's weak to strike damage, and we strike like only a union worker can. The heavier the weapon, the more expensive it is to level up for some reason. The Dragon Communion Seal is a weightless symbol of your consumption of dragon hearts, and the smith is better at improving that than he is at improving a big hammer. There's another free boss in the Dragon Barrow, or like there's supposed to be. If you get up on the branch, the Knight's Cavalry should just run off to its death, but like just keeps going in this little notch.
Why won't you die?
I died 3 times trying to make that work, then I just gave up. This was right after patch 1.09 came out, and I was convinced they patched the AI. Honestly, even though I've gotten it to work since then, it still loves that little notch. I'm not totally convinced they didn't patch the AI. Big brain time, we're gonna smash up the Tibia Mariner for some death spaghetti that we can eventually use to get a strength scaling seal. That means we could even have ranged options, so get ready for that. Definitely gonna happen. Keep your eyes peeled. Flame of the Redmane, super fast, not for the Ash of War that got nerfed, but instead for the fast fire weapon art. Fire weapon arts scale with strength, lucky for me, but more importantly, they're really good at burning down putrid avatars. To understand that better, put a sledgehammer in the oven for an hour, then hit a head of cabbage. It's pretty effective. This one drops the flame boosting tier for 20% more fire damage, which we'll immediately use for a harder version of this fight. The extra damage from this putrid avatar isn't a problem. Pretty sure the Kaled one would also squish us in one hit. Unfortunately, this one has 12,000 HP, the Kaled one has 5,500. That's twice as long we have to fight it without getting hit, and yeah, it does hit harder. 3 times it hits us harder before I straight up just give up to do something else. And that something else is Gilka, an absolute joke of a boss.
Love this hammer.
then I guess that makes me the Joker, baby. Second try, we get it, and like, damn, look at that damage. It will get even better with the Ritual Sword Talisman for 10% more damage when we're at full health, which will be good because we're always gonna be at full health or dead. I can improve the damage even further with a detour through the Sage's Cave, and get the Black Feathers outfit, which will boost our jump damage by 10%. Garrus kills us pretty much right after we pick it up. Oof. With the Giant Crusher, you'll want to use a jump attack instead of heavy attacks. Its heavy attack is this unique flip that looks super badass and does great damage, at the cost of being really goddamn slow. Substance over style, but not really, even since this cape is stylish as hell. Unfortunately, our hammer is so heavy, it doesn't matter if we have no gloves or pants, just putting on the cape puts us into heavy load. Unless we rock the Radahn Sword Seal and take an extra 15% worth of damage.
I'm not worried about it! I'm not worried about any of this!
But really, I am not worried. What's the difference between negative 15% damage and 0% damage resistance when you have 414 total health? Also, it's actually more like a negative 5% since the Raptor's feathers give us a 10% damage resistance, roughly. So with 20% more damage on our jump attacks, we're ready to take on the Putrid Avatar. After one more death. Look, it's dangerous to go alone. If you're gonna be benching the entire goddamn world, you need a gym buddy. Or 4.
Lean over, boys! Lean over, boys! Squishing and scrunching!
Morgott does not lift. His hammer is so light, it's literally light. Also, Morgott hammer in the DLC, please. Someone in chat suggested the Omen Slicer, like the Carrion Slicer, and yeah, that sounds badass. Omen hammer, Omen daggers, and Omen Slicer. Make them all our tree incantations or add an Omen seal. Just gonna spitball DLC ideas because we can leave the whole fight in here. We're either killing bosses or they're killing us fast. None of these matches are going to time. With Morgott squished, we ask Godskin to lift the gate, but he doesn't lift. I'm the one who lifts. We squish him, then he won't rob us on the way up the safe path. Yeah, just because we had him open the danger path doesn't mean we're gonna use it. I squish everyone on the way up, including this sick reverse bird jump slam. That bird can be really annoying. Then I kill everyone by the ladder and grab the claw talisman for another 10%. Oh, then I did some perfect movement and ended up right in front of the fog gate for the iron wet blade. Another wet one. Why are they all wet? Definitely intentional, not at all lucky. There's one more thing I want from Stormveil, but first we have to get sad. Into the Weeping Peninsula, remember bros, crying is a sign of strength. If you want to gain, you need to be vulnerable first. We're here for the faith boosting tier, which adds 10 to our faith score for 3 minutes. Back to Stormveil, we crush the swag jump.
Aim for the bushes.
And pop in for the Black Flame prayer book. We are definitely gonna use it. Godrick doesn't go well the first time we get one shot, and coming from Godrick, that's a really bad sign. But if this is emblematic of problems of the run, it's also emblematic of the solutions in this run. On our second try, Godrick doesn't make it to phase 2. The Giant Crusher is just too powerful. Either we are crushed or we are crushing. There is no middle ground. More power and more death. We get blown up by the flaming chariots on the way to the Flame Grant Me Strength, which boosts fire and physical damage by 20% for 30 seconds. Personally, I prefer other buffs. 30 seconds isn't enough fun for me. Maybe it will be if we have a big enough hammer. Radahn time, and those gravity arrows are a real problem. Every once in a while, you time your dodges wrong, okay? It's a little embarrassing. I'm trying to summon some spotters, but doing it, we just keep getting shot. Once we eventually get a run with our buddies, we can get in for massive jump attacks. They're so big by the time Radahn jumps up, he is looking rough. After that, it just takes a few more slams and we get a massive W. After a good battle, we enter Radahn's hole, and I'm heading for the Archer Ashes. Until I remembered the Archer Ashes are actually in Noxtella, which would mean doing like 90% of the Ronnie quest. I don't want to do that. That's valuable time I could be spending at the gym. So we'll scoop up the Great Shield soldiers who have carried us through so many no vigor runs. They're just the best. The Mimic tier is no issue. We only have to hit it 1, 2, 3 times. But wait, why did we kill it? We didn't have to do that. Maybe it's just a good reminder that the only person you're competing with at the gym is yourself. Take your time and gain at your own pace. But our boys are looking wimpy. We've got to get them hefty. In the Windham Catacombs, I take my own advice. Slow, steady, patiently smack every gargoyle on the way down, even the Lindell Knight. That means nobody's gonna be chasing us and interrupting our run. Then we got killed anyway.
This was a huge waste of my time.
Let's do it all over again and just run past all the shit. That works better. The Erdtree Burial Watchdog is so awkward for no vigor runs. Its moves just have weird animation times and swing times, and yeah, they all one-shot us. So it gets our goat 3 times before we come back with the stance pressure tier. That breaks its stance really fast and lets us get off free hits. That's +5 boy power with the Grave Glovewort. It's not steroids, it's a natural supplement that just makes them really angry and strong. There are more supplements in the Gelmnir Hero's Grave, and this chariot will for sure flatten us if we get hit. Not a problem. On the way down, we get the 7 and the 6 without even getting paged, and even scoot out unscathed. The boys are +7, we have a +12 hammer, and extra jump attack damage. That's a lot of damage.
How about a little more?
But we're so close to the peak of Mount Gelmnir, might as well climb some ladders. If there's a snake eater up here, we better be wearing long sleeves, because these pythons are looking tasty. They look so good, Tanith gives us the keys to her place right away. I knew Volcano Manor would be hot, but not this hot. Seems like we're gonna need some long-lasting enhancement, and I guess we'll think of Anastia. She's guarding the Golden Mouse Bell, which will boost our damage and damage resistance by 15% for 80 seconds. That's an aura buff, not a body buff, so it will stack with Flame Grant Me Strength. Still not that long, but twice as long as Flame Grant Me Strength. To cast it, we need the seal from Maliketh, then a pocket from the Round Table Hold, and 2 fingers in a hole to maximize our enhancement. Remember, if you're having trouble keeping your buffs up, try 2 fingers in a hole. Now we're ready for whatever strange secrets Tanith keeps in her room. There's an invisible wall, pretty cool, and a snake man with a whip. Hey, as long as everyone's cool with it. That kills us. Then the dude outside the Godskin Noble kills us while we activate the shortcut. But we did activate the shortcut, so now we can take on the Godskin Noble proper. The hammer does amazing damage, but this rollout is just baloney. It's baloney every time you fight this dude. There's something in the environment you're meant to use as cover, and every time it's just kind of a coin flip for whether or not that's gonna work. Attempt 2, we bring in the boys and get to jumping. He likes our style, naturally, so he goes for a big jump himself. That is a much better attack than the rollout. For me. We're not here to fight Rykard, though honestly it wouldn't probably be all that bad. The Serpent Hunter scales with strength. I did want this to be a single streamed run though, so let's just head up the path and open up a fog door for 2 treats. First, Royal Knight's Resolve. It adds 80% extra damage to your next hit. It's freaking amazing. It's gonna turn our damage up to 11. Then, the Dagger Talisman. I forget to equip it. Anyway, let's go. Sadly, we do not make it to the Draconic Tree Sentinel without getting sniped. Big bummer. Summoning the boys for the Tree Sentinel is a big help. They're just the best distractions. But this dude can respond to getting hit really fast, which means we're gonna get absolutely blasted. Still, look at that damage. Come on. That's amazing. Second try, we get the win, and the Giant Crusher is really crushing it, but it's not quite living up to its name yet. To be fair, we need a giant to crush. The city is so pretty, but dying to the Erdtree avatar feels shitty. It's a pity we do it again, and I'm not witty enough to come up with another rhyme. Though we do get it the 3rd time. Don't know why I'm fighting the Lindell Knight lately. I guess I just don't want to get electrocuted on the way to the Grace. Probably shouldn't throw down with the Hammer Bros, but come on, I gotta prove we're the king of slams. A crown is warranted with strength after all. Once we grab the Ritual Shield Talisman, we head to fight the man with the most quotable quotes, Godfrey, or at least his shade. We get all our buffs off, summon the boys, and die instantly. That sucks. Next try, same thing. The buffs are on, but then we get squished in a one-shot. Our damage is absolutely amazing when we can hit him. It's just that if we trade even a little bit, we take more damage. Well, we actually probably take less damage. The difference is he has 7,000 HP, we have 400. So about 5% of what he's rocking. When the boys take the aggro enough, we get enough hits. With the chip damage from the boys, the number of hits we get in is 3. Good lord. I fumbled the sticks trying to one-shot the Black Knife Assassin, so she killed us, but I came back and returned the favor with a one-shot.
God, it's a one-hit wonder.
Morgott is trickier. He takes 1, 2, 3 hits to get into phase 2, then a 4th, and I stopped using the RKR instead of just swinging away for the stance break. 4 and 5 are enough to do it, so with number 6, a critical hit, we turn him into paste. Now we can go to the Forbidden Lands. Lucky us, I guess. Hey look, it's the mountaintops of the giants, the bell-bearing 3, and a +18 hammer. You'll love to see it. It's just so uneventful. The run to the Forbidden Lands is long. The run from the top of the Lift of Rold through the mountaintops of the giants is so long. Why put another long stretch in between it? Notable things that happen, we get sniped by the ice lobster and pick up an ancient dragon smithing stone. Nothing else interesting happens on the way to the fire giant. Fire giant time, he is a giant, we have the giant crusher, time for a free win.
Fuck!
Okay, just had to get the download. Now we get 3 nice big Royal Knights resolved jump attacks off in the first phase before switching to the faster R1s. I thought we were closer to phase 2 than we were, otherwise I would have gone with those sweet big booms. While he's whining about his broken leg, I can reapply my buffs, then get a sick, nasty stance break. Imagine getting a Giant Crusher with Royal Knights resolve straight to your fucking eyeball. Honestly though, the crits don't do that much damage to him. Look at the critical hits damage compared to the RKR hit on the thigh. It's not that big of a difference. What the heck? We win, and the Giant Crusher has earned its title. Time for the biggest gains yet. And the bigger the gains, the bigger the pains.
Pain without love, pain.
Melina burns down the Erd tree, and I had to pee, so we actually have footage of that today. Framazula is breaking down, just like our body is breaking down this protein and turning it into pure protein. Barney is the perfect gym bro. He's got a big fire hammer and he's based as hell. The Godskin duos are not fun though, they just kinda one-shot us. After 2 attempts this way, I figure we should maybe try it without Barney. That would give the Godskins less health and less stance resistance. It goes bad? Never mind, I need my buddy. A lot of these deaths are on the Godskin duo being kinda baloney, but this one here.
Why did I do that? Why would I do that?
That one's on me.
We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close.
Big problem is losing the boys to Chunky's Black Flame bullshit attack. Also losing ourselves to that. Yeah, that can kill us too. Here's the victory lap. 2 jump attacks bring Chunky to half health, especially after a nice stance break and a meaty critical hit.
Don't do it. Don't you do it.
I wait until he's done rolling out to punish, only to get hit with the noble presence. What a piece of shit. 1 more Royal Knights resolve with a follow-up of fast attacks takes out the Chunky. Bernie and the boys took Skinny out, another Skinny comes in, and we destroy him together. Remember, the only thing stronger than a Giant Crusher is a union. When the next Chunky goes for a rollout, I have the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever. But I keep it together, and we get the win. I want to be clear, I didn't die doing the swag jump. I died getting sniped before the swag jump. See, it goes fine when I actually get the jump. The bird run is so much more stressful with no vigor. The lightning could kill us. The birds could kill us. The sniper beast could kill us on the columns. The lightning beast could kill us with the lightning in the water, and the last beast man loves to just take you out at the end. None of that happens though, it goes fine. So does the tree sentinel. Just 1 RKR, a couple of hits to break the stance, then another RKR jumper, and a quick hit while he tries phase 2 for the win. Maliketh doesn't have a lot of health, so this is gonna go bad, poorly, unfortunate, stinky, shitty, and weak. Our damage is good, but we have to hot swap out the Faith Talisman for the Ritual Shield Talisman if we want to live even some of the hits. Most of the hits still just one-shot us. Thankfully, we don't need that many hits. The winning run starts off justifying our hot swap. We live a hit. But then while the boys taunt, oh yeah, by the way, the boys have a taunt? It's pretty great. Anyway, we buff up while they taunt, then we get our first hit. It only takes 2 to get to phase 2. He jumps the way I like, and we hit him a 3rd time. But then he jumps the way I don't like, behind the column. Don't panic, just be calm and get the 4th hit in and the 5th hit in while he hits the boys. Silly Maliketh, I'm the one you have to kill. I guess he knew that the first 6 times, to be fair. That's only 91 strength though, we're not even capped off. Hopefully we get this by endgame.
You should see me in a crowd. I'm gonna run, there's nothing to help.
Quick detour before we get the last 3 bosses. I kinda wanna see if we can one-shot Gideon off near. For that, we'll use the Giant Crusher's signature charged attack. The slow speed isn't an issue because Gideon won't shut the hell up. To maximize the damage, I sneak up on the bear. Slowly, slowly, carefully. JK, I just squashed that bear. And get the Axe Talisman, which boosts charged attacks. Mixed with the charged attack physic tier, is it enough to one-shot Gideon?
Missed it by that much.
2 more cleans it up. I don't know if we're strong enough for Godfrey. He's like the ultimate Giga Chad, leader of the Tarnished, chieftain of the Badlands, healthy relationship with his ex-wife. He's the GOAT. His Earthquake one-shots us and yeah, it one-shots characters with 40 vigor. Obviously, we're toast. Next attempt is better. We hot swap out the Faith Talisman for Ritual Shield and maybe get to live a hit, maybe? We buff up and avoid the toss, then big slam. The boys distract as we heal up and go for another jump, but we catch a stray. RKR still works on the fast attack, but it's a bummer. It's not as much as a jump attack. As he charges up for the big shockwave, we can get a true slam off and dodge just in time to avoid the hit. A few more hits brings him into phase 2, and do you hear that? Yeah, that means he gets to skip the stance break because of the phase transition. God damn it. Phase 2, he leads with the daddy grabby we can easily avoid. Punishing that makes him immediately go for phase 2.5. I get off the hits I can while dodging the first slams. The boys get destroyed by his giant earthquake. RIP, buddies. Godfrey whiffs a daddy grabby. We whiff a roll attack. Then we whiff a jump attack while he whiffs his jump attack, but he's got a little shockwave that catches us. For some reason, that one doesn't have the big shockwave. Then RKR, right in his face for the daddy grabby. Avoid the shockwave for the big hit, then dodge a few more hits before landing a roll attack. Yeah, thy strength befits a crown.
Yeah, I sure hope it does.
That is actually just enough runes to max out our strength. And buy the Godfrey crown. He said we could have it. Wearing that crown puts us in heavy load though, so I drop our last runes on rune arcs, then activate Godrick's Great Rune. Am I gonna use Radahn Sword Seal just to wear a hat that looks good?
You're goddamn right.
First attempt to Unga Bunga God to death actually goes pretty great. Radahn gets shredded, more shredded than he normally is. Don't get me wrong, goals, but he's toast. So are our boys by the time we get to the Elden Beast, and the true final boss of any non-vigor run, the Elden Stars, take us out. Oof. It's not unwinnable, we just have to get a stance break, and our hammer has a lot of stance. Except, Radahn is actually way harder than I thought. The dude is relentless. He does not get off my ass, and we can't live a hit. 3 deaths, super fast. It's brutal. But I focused up. Next attempt, dude can be as aggro as he wants. I'll be fine. 2 projectiles right away? Don't care. The boys taunt and we get a massive hit off. They are pulling their weight hard, which is great considering their scrawny arms. They hit Ratty again so we can load up a second hit after he does his aerial slam. We back out. The boys hit him. We get another big hit off. He goes for the hammer slammer, but it's on the boys, and our big jump attack stance breaks him, bringing us to the Elden Beast. The Elden Beast always gives you the opportunity for 2 free hits, and that is a huge give on this build. We did get tickled by the breath, but thank God for the Ritual Shield Talisman. I should probably heal it off, but the melee attack is so tempting to punish. Besides, I can heal up while it goes for the Elden Ring. Then the rings, which makes sense. It's at like half health. Usually it does that at a quarter, and we punish it with a hit. It starts up Elden Stars, so we have to get a stance break. I go for another hit, and it doesn't break. That's not good. We still have most of our flasks, so I desperately try to stay topped off, and the Elden Stars are kind to us. While it sucks that they deal a bunch of chip damage, they also kind of are a bit of a lottery, just floating around in weird random patterns. They're over, but we're out of flasks. And even worse, the beast breaks our ritual shield with a wave as it jumps up to make the triple rings. I can't take another hit, and I don't. We dodge everything until the radiant explosion, which gives us enough time for another Royal Knight's Resolve to smash God with the power of lifting. We beat the game at 5 hours and 1 minute, a really fast run, but we only killed 18 bosses and died 60 times. So despite going fast, it actually ends up in D tier right above Poison Ivy. But to be honest, this was so goddamn fun. You could make it more fun with, any amount of vigor. If you started this with a nice 30 vigor, not even 40, it would be much better. The Giant Crusher and Royal Knight's Resolve is maybe the most fun combo weapon you can have. Dying that much is just kind of frustrating. To watch me die a lot, follow me on Twitch. We're finding weird ways to play Elden Ring all the time. Join the Patreon to support the channel. That's the best place to do it. And follow my other channel if you like tabletop RPGs and other Tulok fun.